Hey guys, it's Donna from Donna's Corn Free Cooking, and I just wanted to share a quick little video with you today of what I'm doing. I am making a tomato bisque soup, which is really yummy, and I've got my own twist on it and made it so that it does not have any corn derivatives in it. Now, I just got as you can see, I've got my celery and onion pretty much sauteed in this pot in just about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now in this pan, which is really hot right now, I have my tomatoes I've roasted, and I'm getting ready to peel them and put them in the pot. Once I have done that, I will come back and I will show you how to put this soup together and let you know how long it takes to cook it so that you can have it for your family. It's a good way to make a soup no matter who is allergic. If you're not allergic, it's just another tasty way of making soup. But for those of us who have problems with corn derivatives, this is a great recipe to try. And as always, I will have it down in the description. So as soon as I get my tomatoes in there, I will be back. Okay guys, as you can see in the pot, I've got my tomatoes and garlic in there. And I'm going to stir it around a little bit, and then I'm going to start adding my ingredients. I've got 1 container of Pacific free-range chicken broth, which has no corn derivatives in it at all, and so I'm going to add basically half this container, and that equals about 1 cup, maybe 2 cups. It's just up to your preference how much you want to put in. Then I'm adding cup of water, and I've got this on high right now to get it started. And to that mix, I am going to be adding some spices, and it has the olive oil from the roasted tomatoes and from where I sauteed the onions and the celery, so you don't need to add that. I'm going to be adding about a teaspoon of total seasoning by Lori. It's got oregano and cilantro and parsley, garlic, and all kinds of goodies in it. And after that, I'm adding, this might sound odd, but I'm adding a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. And it really gives it a good flavor. To that mix, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of dill weed, which I love dill weed in my soups. It's very flavorful. Teaspoon of salt. And I always use the sea salt that has nothing else in it. And then I'm going to add a pinch of thyme leaves, and I'm going to crush them up in my finger and put those in there. Thyme just gives it a really nice flavor, so I'm going to be adding that, or I've added it. So now I'm going to get ready and stir it around, get everything mixed in. And I think I might add the rest of that container of chicken broth. And you want to let this simmer for about, probably 30 to 35 minutes. Once it starts boiling, turn it down to simmer. And I will come back in about 35 minutes and we'll see how it's doing and show you the way I process it. Okay guys, I'm back, and the soup is all done. As you can see, we got a beautiful mix here, and I've been letting it cool for a few minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start putting it in my food processor. Now you can use an immersion blender to puree this. but I don't have one, so I'm going to do it in the food processor here in bits, and then putting it into another pan to get it ready to finish off. And it smells wonderful. Has such a good rich flavor to it that it's going to be really yummy to eat. So I've got that about 2/3 full. I'm going to seal it up here, and I'm going to start pulsing it. Then I'm going to turn it on high. Okay, I'm going to check it. Ooh, it's getting there. Let me stir it just a little bit. Stir down a few little chunks. Okay, turn it back on. Oh, it looks so rich and creamy. Okay, that portion is ready. And as you can see, I've got a beautiful, rich Bisque type soup. And I'm going to pour all that into this pot. Put this back on. And add the rest. Looks almost like a carrot soup, but I didn't put any carrots in it because I'm allergic to them. So it's just another food I have to avoid. So when I'm making up my own recipes, I have to really watch how I do everything and make adjustments for where I can't have certain foods in there. And like I said, this is a great, wonderful recipe to fix for your entire family, and it's great on a chilly day, especially in the winter. And this is a good recipe to make up, and you can either process it in a canner and can it, or you can freeze it. And I know I've showed videos of me freezing my relish, and I did it in plastic containers. And plastic is made from corn, which is xanthan gum. But if you freeze it, it doesn't really absorb into the plastic into the food. So I haven't had a problem. So you can freeze it, or you can can it in a canner. Whoa, I think I got a little too much in there. That, or it's just too liquidy. Let me get some paper towels here. I may have to take just a little bit of that out. Let's see. Okay, let me bring my pot back over. We'll take out a little bit. Then we'll finish it. Might have to do it slowly because this wasn't quite as full as the other one. And the other one didn't do this, so we'll do it on low and see how it does. That's better. As I've said before many times, I'm very messy when I cook. So I'll have one disaster after another. Okay, let's take a look. It looks, basically it looks just like the other one. So I'm going to pour this out and then do that little bit that's left. And I love this little soup pot that I got. It really, it really cooks the soups up nice, and I enjoy it. Okay. Now, That's just a little tiny bit, but I want to keep every little bit I can. Okay, this is going over here to go in the sink to be washed. And I am going to drop this out of there. And I'm going to use my wooden spoon, scrape out as much as I can what was left. And all this just looks so beautiful. I can hardly wait for dinner. Now this would be good to make my faux cornbread, which I made on my second video when I started doing this channel. And it would taste so good with that. Okay, so here we go. I've got a beautiful processed soup in here. Just little tiny bits and chunks, which is why it's called Bisque. And so now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tip this a little bit, I have to make the roux to put in, wrong burner, put into the soup so I can start heating it up for about 5 minutes after I get that in there. And you use 4 tablespoons of butter that are melted. To that I add a 1/4 cup of flour, and I mix that in really, really well. And I cook that until it starts to change color. So it's usually a minute, maybe 2 minutes, not even quite that. It's actually a minute, according to the recipe I made. Then I'm going to start adding 2 cups of half and half. I didn't have half and half, so I used 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of whole milk. So basically I made my own half and half. So then you start pouring that in slowly into the roux base, and then continue stirring it until it starts to thicken. And it shouldn't take very long to start thickening up. Then that will get added to the soup, and then the soup will be left to simmer for about 5 more minutes. As I said, you can make this and serve it with the faux cornbread, or you could go to another video I did doing dill cheddar biscuits, or cheddar dill biscuits, which are so good. I also make a scone that has the dill in it, has cheddar in it, but it also has sauerkraut and cream and sour cream, which is just out of this world. So you can do whatever. I will be sharing that recipe at some point, and you'll be able to use that one. So this is a wonderful, basically I like soups year round, but it's really good soup for fall through winter. Especially if you make enough and you can it or freeze it, and you're in a hurry when you get home and you just want something really quick to eat, you can pull it out, heat it up, and you've got a nice hot meal. So this is starting to heat up. So hopefully it'll start to thicken a little. You don't want it too thick. The soup itself, if you look at it, it's pretty thick. So just want it slightly thick enough to get it to set up. I'm having fun doing these videos. I've got so many ideas to share with you. I've been so busy canning and dehydrating and just coming up with different recipes that this is one that I decided I'm going to do this video really quick and share it with you. Now this is starting to thicken, and I'm going to take it off of here, and I'm going to move this over. Oh, it is for that size. And then what I'm going to do is take out the wooden spoon, grab that wire whip, and start adding it to the mix. So you get this beautiful, beautiful cream of tomato bisque soup that you can freeze, you can process it and keep it in your cupboard. And it's just a wonderful meal anytime that you want it. So I'm just about done here. Get that whipped in so you guys can see how beautiful and creamy it is. As you can see, it's this beautiful, beautiful cream of tomato soup. So I'm going to let you go, guys. I'm going to leave this for 5 minutes, and then it'll be ready to serve for our dinner. So I will be back with another video really soon. And all of you take care and keep safe. See you soon. Bye. There you go, guys. Take a look at that beautiful soup. It's all ready to serve, and we're ready to eat our dinner. So until next time, take care of yourself, guys. Bye.